plastic bags and how to reuse them. So I'm going to share my PowerPoint now, and here we are. So this is my PowerPoint. So plastic bags, as everybody knows, is just kind of a staple for marketing. Pretty much everybody has used a plastic bag in their life. And as we all know, there is a never-ending supply of them, it seems. So the first thing I wanted to point out is that a lot of people don't really know what to do without plastic bags. They are kind of dependent on them. A lot of people still don't use reusable bags because of the convenience of a plastic bag. And they can just throw it away afterwards. They don't have to clean it or worry about storing it or remember to bring it in the store with them. So the efforts to help control the rampant use of plastic bags is not one-sided, and it will take many people to have an impact on the environment to help save the environment, specifically the ocean, where all of these things end up going. Unorganized plastic bag bans may also prove more detrimental than helpful, depending on the environment in which they're made. Keep an eye on the environment and be aware of the benefits of a reusable bag throughout your life. So the impacts of plastic. We know quite a bit about this already from Toxic Garbage Island and some other things that Dr. Cook has mentioned throughout the class, but I'll review it a little bit here. So that one plastic bag that you throw away has a huge impact on the world as a whole. There's the cliche of an equal and opposite reaction that causes one problem after another. You'll see in the graphic that it's bad for the oceans because of entanglement. Birds eat it, swordfish get it stuck on there, and plastics are a huge concern for the ocean where it cannot blow away once the water makes it heavier. That's the difference between on land and in the ocean. On land, a bag can fly indefinitely for an undetermined amount of time, but once it's in the ocean, it's kind of stuck there, which again is like the Toxic Island garbage patch. Pacific Island garbage patch, where all that stuff is just there and nobody can remove it, and it doesn't blow away and it doesn't go anywhere, and it just starts breaking down into more and more pieces. So plastic is a huge concern for the ocean as well, because bags like this and other plastic endangers the animals and plants in these waters and generally kills upwards of 100,000 a year. Biomagnification and bioaccumulation of toxins is also a significant problem for the fish that eat the particles and down the line to the people who then ingest the toxic fish, which is a problem with the Inuit women who have toxic breast milk because they've ingested so many of these fish, and whales and the fat where all the toxins get stored. So what I did is over a 13-day period, I went and tried to figure out how many plastic bags I used grocery shopping only. I didn't pay attention, at a convenience store or Walmart or something like that, just at the grocery store exclusively. So what I found is that before, I used 3 plastic bags for $20 worth of groceries, which was like, okay. And then 10 plastic bags for $100 worth of groceries, plus 4 produce bags. And then I realized that I kind of don't need to put all my meat in separate bags. So the next time I went, I asked for them to reduce and use as few bags as possible. And so then I only used 7 plastic bags for $100 worth of groceries. And then I started using a reusable plastic bag, which was much larger than any of the plastic bags. And so I only used 1 for $30 and $40 worth of groceries and 2 for $100 worth of groceries. So what I noticed here is that, reusable bags really have a lot of benefits when you remember to bring them. So the use of a reusable plastic bag did decrease the number of plastic bags being used. However, this required better planning, considering remembering the bag and not buying more than would fit in the 2 reusable bags that I had with me at the time. So on average, doing it this way, I would save the environment 369 plastic bags per year, going to the grocery store 65 times in that year. So the results from the before-after switch. Bonus of reusable bags is that they're offered in a lot of sizes, materials, colors, designs, and even some support local causes. So, the breast cancer bags, the awareness bags for all sorts of things. And, there's the ones at Hannaford that have the kids draw pictures for them, and then they print them up on the bags, and it's pretty cool. This makes them a more versatile grocery bag than the common plastic bag as well, because people are making a choice to buy them to support local causes or to support, national causes or what have you. So most of these bags are also more sturdy and have multifunctional uses, such as a beach bag or purse. It, like I said, fits more in one bag, which is very helpful. I only had to use 2 bags to carry $100 worth of groceries as compared to loading up both of my arms and having to make 2 trips. Another bonus of reusable bags is some can be waterproof or, hydrophilic where they absorb everything, which may not be as good, but still a bonus. So not so bonus about reusable bags. They have a huge energy investment early on to create them because they're not just plastic bags being pumped out, especially if someone becomes a collector of these bags, even though they never use them all. My mother probably has about 20 reusable bags, and on average, she never uses more than 5 of them. If they break, you already have made an investment in them and you'll have to make it again. So I know most of them are like 99 cents, but if you put money into a good sturdy one like the ones I have, they were about 10 bucks. I don't expect them to break anytime soon, but if they do, I'll have to remember to go out and get more bags, which is another problem with these if it's not part of somebody's normal routine. People often forget these, like I said, when they go to the grocery store and either send kids out, again, my mother is notorious for this, to get them, or just don't use them that day because they forgot them. And then these bags do not double as kitty litter bags or dog poop cleanup receptacles, which I know for a lot of people it's the alternative to buying poop bags that are biodegradable. They just use the plastic ones that they already had and then fill them up with the poop and pee and whatever else the animals manage to get out of their bodies, and then that's what they throw away. The materials most of these bags are made of is also not biodegradable. So if you lose one or you break it and you throw it away, you're pretty much throwing away plastic bags again, because most of them are not made from biodegradable materials, because that would probably be not helpful when you're trying to carry liquids in your bag. So I work at Whole Foods. Most of you don't know that, but I work at the Whole Foods in Bedford, New Hampshire. But we don't have data on our bag use, so I have the Whole Foods Nashua bag use. The average Monday to Friday paper bag usage. So to do some math, there are 300 bags per bundle and 18 bundles per pallet. On average, Whole Foods Market Nashua, New Hampshire uses 2 pallets from Monday to Friday of the larger handled bags. There are 4 other sizes not included in these numbers. So there's a relatively large non-handled bag, there's the wine bag, there's just all sorts of different bags that they have because they're paper, so they're pretty size limited. But from Friday through Monday, there's an additional pallet use, so the weekend is as busy as half of the full work week. So that means that there are 16,200 paper bags at least being used every week. This is an average week, so the holiday season probably easily doubled that. But there are only 2 calendar days of the year that Whole Foods Market is closed. That's Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day. So 16,200 divided by 7 is equal to 2,314 paper bags used daily. And again, that's just the one size. That means that there are 840,086 paper bags used annually on average at Whole Foods in Nashua. So Whole Foods Market Nashua is one of the smallest stores in the New England Northeast region. There are 31 in the state of Massachusetts alone, and none of them are as small as the Whole Foods in Nashua. The Whole Foods in Nashua might actually be the smallest one in the New England Northeast region. So that would mean that at least 26,442,666 paper bags are used in Massachusetts alone annually based on the Whole Foods Market Nashua numbers, which are markedly small. So in reality, the Whole Foods in Linfield, which is like twice the size of the one in Bedford, would probably use anywhere from 3 to 4 times as many paper bags a year, assuming that they have an average like Nashua does. So that's pretty terrifying. It's good for Whole Foods because they are an environmentally aware company and they try to use the paper bags because they are biodegradable. They also have a 5-cent waive if you bring your own bag. So if there ever is a tax ban in Bedford or Nashua or wherever, then Whole Foods will compensate that back to you since you chose to use a reusable bag, which is pretty neat. The future of the plastic bag and the plastic bag ban. So on the left, well, my left, you'll see a map of the United States of America. And it's telling you where different plastic bag bans are. So local community enacted policies are the big kind of like spiky looking orbs, which there's a big one in Alaska and there's a few in Texas. There's also local community proposed policies, which are the triangles. We checked New Hampshire. I zoomed in on it, and there's nothing in New Hampshire right now. But I'm pretty sure there's a plastic ban use in Portsmouth, maybe. Downtown, they're not allowed to use plastic bags when you're buying stuff, as I learned when I tried to buy something down there and got a paper bag. And it was raining, so that was fun. But many disagree with the rapid use of plastic bag bans because they may end up being more harmful than beneficial, especially since many alternative bags actually require more energy, which I'll get into later. Some research also indicates that reusable bags, which are often not cleaned, could pose possible health risks from E. coli and other pathogens remaining in the materials. So the source-specific research actually mentioned that there was a norovirus. A girl on a soccer team had norovirus, and it got on her bag, and then she spread it to the entire team, which, you know, is probably a little bit kind of dramatizing the event, but it did happen, so I'm sure that sucked for everyone involved. Taxes on the single-use bags, such as in San Francisco, California, USA, have increased revenue for use in environmental protection caused by these bags. So the 5-cent tax, or whatever it is in California and San Francisco, who led the nation doing this, they're now using I think it was $4.2 million that they've collected from this to help clean the waterways and everything else that they have these problems in, to try to decrease the impact of plastic bags. So the Ocean Conservancy, which we had seen a picture of from Dr. Cook's lecture, still has cigarette butts #1 for 25 years and going, and plastic bags are #4. However, overall plastic bags are decreasing in waterways within cities, which is also decreasing sorry about that, decreasing the overall number in the ocean. So the cost of these taxes is one of the main arguments about it. They think that it's exploiting poor people of the lower class, but 5 cents per bag doesn't add up to much every year overall. If you used 390 bags, let's say, you would still only spend about $19 in taxes on those bags. But some people still have to figure out whether it's beneficial or harmful to really have these plastic bag bans, and how many people are actually going to stop using plastic bags because of it. So this is the graphic that I find most interesting in this PowerPoint that I found. How do we make plastic? So more so plastic bags, but this graphic shows the rather large investment into different bag types based on material. So paper bags, although Whole Foods is trying their best, these single-use paper bags use 1,000 gallons of fresh water every time to make one of them. And they use 2,620 gigajoules of non-renewable energy. Now, this doesn't mean that all paper bags are made with non-renewable energy and that, you know, all of them only get one use, because a lot of people will bring their bags back in to use at Whole Foods, I've noticed. These are also biodegradable, which a lot of people forget, compared to a plastic bag, which doesn't biodegrade. So a lot of people also forget that reusable bags don't come into the world virgin unless they're made from completely recycled materials, which is unlikely. However, they're not as bad as a plastic single-use bag, because a recyclable, reusable bag with 40% recycled content, after 8 uses, has significantly decreased its impact on the environment after using it 8 times. And, you know, on average, people use it every week they go grocery shopping. So by the time at the end of a year, if you still manage to use the same bag, you significantly decrease the amount of energy and everything else that you've put into it. And like I said, something else is that paper bags actually use more energy, emit more CO2, and use more water than one single-use plastic bag at the time. But it's important to remember that they are biodegradable, in which a plastic bag is not. So this is my educational component of my video. I somehow doubt that this is going to work because it hates me. but this is a video about how to, repurpose your plastic bags. So something that I found interesting is that, you could do this in a kindergarten, grade school, middle school environment. Not this specific style necessarily, but this was a more entertaining video, I thought. So you can make them, I'm sure a lot of people have seen them made out of gum wrappers or, old sails or what have you, but this is a way to repurpose and reuse the plastic bags and turn a single-use plastic bag into a more useful, more efficient, more energy-friendly, multiple-use bag if made well. So here's this for you.
Hello and welcome to Weekend Projects. I'm Bree Pettis and I need a bag, a messenger bag. A bag I can take on my bicycle. So I made up some plans and then did some research on the internet and found Federico's site. He puts together messenger bags out of old vinyl signs. His design's way better than mine. He put his designs out underneath the Creative Commons license, so we're going to be using his designs for this bag. But I don't have any vinyl signs. Luckily, I've got my friend Andy here from Etsy, and she's going to show me how to make this stuff that's like recycled plastic that I can use for this bag.
Let me show you how to do it. Everybody has a million plastic bags in their kitchen, shoved under their kitchen sink, and unless you have a dog and are like scooping up poop, you're not really using those plastic bags for anything. But what you can do with them is melt them with your iron to make a fake Tyvek-like material that is free and bountiful and really easy to do. I use it to make stuff like this. I take plastic grocery bags and melt them and then sew them back into reusable grocery bags. This is actually a tiny one. It's just a sample to show people. Cut the bottom off of your plastic bag. Cut the handles off too. If your bag has printing on it, you must flip it inside out. If you don't flip it inside out, the ink's going to come off and make a big mess. The best type of bags to use are really thin drugstore bags or trash bags. The best thickness I've found is an 8-ply layer of plastic. So to do that, you take your opened up plastic bag, fold it once, and then fold it again. Voila, 8 layers of plastic. Take your wax paper, protect your ironing board, put the plastic on the wax paper, and then put another layer of wax paper on top of it to protect your iron. The iron should be set sort of roughly above polyester but below rayon. You're going to have to do a lot of trial and error with your particular iron to see what the best setting is. But let your iron heat up, and then you just run the iron over the wax paper. Keep your iron moving. Flip it over. See the other side. And then you just peel it apart. Now at this point, what you should have is one piece of plastic that's now thicker and stronger than the plastic bag once was. Test it. If it comes apart and it's separating like this, that's not good. It's a weak point of your plastic. You got to put it under the iron again until you have one seamless fused piece. Get all the plastic bags you have stored away in your kitchen, iron them, and make them into a bigger project.
Making a messenger bag out of plastic bags? Oh yeah. I've ironed up a bunch of trash bags that didn't fit in my trash can, and I've got some stuff from the department store that's been ironed up, and I'm all ready to sew it all together to make one big sheet. I'm going to use a sewing machine and just overlap things and sew them. So now I've got my design all set. I've actually folded this one in, and I've done the outlines in chalk here for where I'm going to actually cut and then fold, and then I'm going to just sew everything up so that it's all one bag. I love the zigzag stitch. And then what I did to put this together is I went ahead and I sewed up the sides with a straight stitch. And then I sewed the bottom up with the straight stitch. Did that on the other side too. And then I sewed this little flap on there, which helps keep everything in. Now all I need to do is turn it inside out and put some belts and straps on here. Buckles like this can be found in the junkyard. Buckles like these are expensive. This was like $5. A much cheaper alternative is to go to Goodwill and buy something like this. I got this for $5 and it's actually got all the buckles already on it. I don't need the actual bag, I just need all the gear. Alright, my bag's all done. I've got a fancy little belt buckle here that snaps and unsnaps so that I can put it on. I've got it attached with Velcro and it's, you know, now I'm all set. I can take my Make magazine, I can take, you know, my camera, I can stick that in here and I'm good to go. It folds on up. Goes over my shoulder, and I'm set. I added this little bit right here so it won't slip off my back when I'm bike riding. Now I'm all set. Thanks to Federico, who allowed me to put his plans in the PDF so you can get all the measurements there. Also, thanks to Anda, who showed us how to fuse plastic. That was totally awesome. Now it's your turn. Go out there and fuse some plastic together. Make your own messenger bag. Document it. Upload your pictures to the Make Flickr pool. And have a great weekend.
So that's just one of the many ways that people can reuse plastic bags and show, you know, the world that you can take all these things that we've made and find multiple uses for them. So thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. I got to figure out how to turn this off now, so we'll see how that goes.